So we're going to start. This is Rony Greenberg, who is VP of Business Development for EyeSight. Something. And it's the coolest machine vision company on the planet. So let's hear more.
And she believed me. Good afternoon, good morning, gentlemen, ladies. So I'm going to talk a little bit about gesture recognition, and I think Mark did a good job in telling us about what should be and what shouldn't be. And I actually changed it a bit because I decided to start with something that, if you remember as a child, this is what we were trying to do. Everybody has the power in their hand, trying to do something, move something. We all believe that we are a hero, and we never actually had the power to do anything until the point that, someone came up with a remote. So I decided actually to show you this one because if some of you guys have been in CS behind the screen, I might actually show you a slide from a different video that we have, but we are already doing some interesting work around automotive, where actually you come to the car and there is machine vision capabilities within the car, inside and outside, and you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do other stuff in order to really bring the creation of what was the video supposed to have to reality. This is actually me. I look like a geek, I know, but I'm one geek, big geek. This took place in MWC in Barcelona, and I'm going to show you some additional stuff from this specific glasses. We are working with 3 companies around glasses, watches, and I'll talk about it more. But in this instant, actually, what I'm doing is I'm pointing at the company logo, and it's connected to my iPhone, and I get all the information about the company. Some other application that we're actually using it, sitting in a room and pointing at someone and basically capture his picture, getting all the information from LinkedIn and get it on the display in front of me. A little bit about the company, because again, can't resist it. We are standing here and trying to talk about the technology a little bit. The company has been around for about 6.5 years. Been involved very much in the PC, TV, automotive, air conditioning, going into tablets and other devices, and now very big on the wearable devices as a whole. Everything about what we're doing is really about simple and intuitive. So I'm going to show you a few more videos. I think it's important to see that it's reality. It's not just in a point of discussion, in a point of innovation. It's already working. We are software-based, so everything that you're going to see, it's really running in software. Very lean. We started from mobile, so we really trying to incorporate ourselves very well into any wearable device out there. Variety of devices, enhanced user experience. I'm going to skip some of them. The solution that we are providing work in most of the sensor out there. So we're talking about 2D sensor, everything that I saw people with Google Glass and Vuzix and Lumos and some other. You don't have really to put a battery behind in order to operate what we have. It's running in your device. It's running in the system. Power consumption is very minimal. We're working with stereoscopic. We're working with depth camera. From platform perspective, just name it. I think we have engineering that are crying to me all the time that they have to deal with the different type of software. And in terms of devices, again, we have shipped last year more than 10 million devices incorporating gesture and machine vision from EyeSight. The majority of them are in the TV, PCs, mobile devices, and right now we see shift into wearable. And again, because wearable are becoming more reality than it used to be in the past, it's not the Tom Cruise of the world or any other movie that you see this maybe in 10 years. It's now. Appliances, actually, this is kind of an interesting one. We are shipping on air conditioning from Air, and it's shipping very well. You just control everything around it. And in-car. this is just numbers. I know that we're all storytelling, but those numbers are really portraying a very interesting story for everybody in this room. I think if the market is really going to get to $20 billion US dollar in 2018, that means that we're all going to be very rich in 2018. So hopefully that's what's going to happen. In terms of kind of wearable devices, this is kind of some of the devices that we already actually working with on to some degree. All of them are basically incorporating some kind of sensor that with our software we can actually communicate and integrate with it. About interaction, are we going to interact to rule them all? That's kind of the big question. And I think we heard before about getting gesture and voice together. I'm a big believer, by the way, that at the end of the day, whatever you're doing, the interaction that you have with anything around you has to be a combination of movement of the hand, finger, talking, touching, and of course controlling. But each one of by itself is a bit problematic. EyeSight is an Israeli company. The Middle East is a word that we like to talk with our hands, so it has to be very robust in order to make the communication very stable. A little bit about what type of gesture we are bringing to the table. We have directional gesture, and I'm going to show you some stuff. And then finger tracking. And there is a video that I'm going to share with you about finger tracking. It's important that once you're going to be outside and you have problem, again, voice recognition as an issue when you have too many people or sound around you that basically block the capabilities of really good recognition in terms of what you can do. Depth tracking, and I don't have the time to show you what we have, but actually we do have a depth tracking with a 2D sensor with a very interesting algorithm that was designed by some of our guys. And social finger. Now this is kind of finger-based contextual menu. Talking about gesture, we want the ability actually to move around. Now what you see here is actually done on Vuzix about a day, 24 hours ago. And that's actually, so you can actually get with your finger access to whatever you have on your, in this case it's basically an Android device. Similar to that, I'm showing you some part of Tel Aviv, but we have now about 15 guys walking around the city of Tel Aviv. And the interesting part about what you see here is if you Abima Theater, it's the biggest theater in Tel Aviv, and you just point into it, and you can actually get what is on tonight. You can go actually farther and point into and get basically, you know, if they have tickets, what tickets you can actually get the sitting in the theater and actually get in and try to see what from the sitting, how the stage is going to look like. I'm sure the show is going to be better than what I'm doing here, but that's basically what we are trying to achieve. This is actually mine. This is an application that I'm ashamed to say, but in my spare time, I'm a big fan of Starbucks. Coffee is everything. I know the coffee is not great, but the flavor is amazing. So whenever if I get out of my car and I'm going to Starbucks, before actually getting in, I get the Starbucks and I can actually point into the Starbucks and it says to me, okay, order one of your favorites, just go and press it and voila, the drink should be ready for me. It usually is not. It's too complicated. Then you have to ask for extra foam and they're dying. And of course, when they're asking for my name and I'm saying Rony, and it's Ronaldo usually. We're working very close actually with a few companies. The stuff that you've seen on the first one was with Lumos. It's a see-through, very interesting concept. I'm going to see if I have. So this is actually in a shopping area. We're showing basically what you can actually control, a meeting, and that was done about a couple of months ago already. She has a message on the right side, and basically just gesture and getting the message. flip it again and basically get out of the message. Some of the news around us, we've been very much in every publication out there almost. It's working. At the end of the day, I think the message here on this stage is, we're looking to get the manipulation of objects, et cetera. But at the end of the day, this kind of stuff is already working. We can actually have the watch and basically play with it, and the same goes for any mobility that you're working with. I think I am almost done. Some of the stuff that we are doing around, again, from industrial apps, travel apps, and fitness apps. On the fitness apps, we're probably going to put it in the marketplace with the glasses, local manufacturer of glasses that basically you can actually ride a bike or just the treadmill, and you can see in front of you a different version of reality that you can actually go through and basically get information about the calories that you're spending, the length of time. Basically, a dream come true for many of the athletes out there. And I think I'll skip this one. And any question, guys?
Yes. We have a few moments for questions, and I thought of one, but I'm sure it's cheating to ask. I was going to bring up Ori's slide and ask you to do all the eyewear for us so I can win the contest to name all the eyewear on that slide, because I'm sure you probably can answer that. But do we have we
yes.
do? Yes.
I got a question. You showed the usage of an eyeglass, and you were responding with a menu with gestural controls.
Right.
I was wondering if the Z-axis part as you're touching it, obviously the XY you can see is positional, but does it make a difference on the Z-axis?
So to answer the question, no. And yes, we do have a relative. Hey. Oh. That's the way you should answer a question, right? Answer with a question. We are showing, actually, if you want, I can show you on my iPhone and my iPad. We have what we call the relative depth, which is more than enough for almost everything you want to do in terms of depth recognition. We're not pushing it too hard, but definitely on what you have seen here, it's kind of utilized. It's been utilized. So we're going to have probably an SDK for some of the glasses out there in the next few weeks, depending on the company. But this is kind of the stuff that we're going to have. On one of them, at least, we're going to have relative depth with the current sensor that they have, which is whatever is inside, we don't touch it. It's only a software that we run on top of it, and that's it, and you can play with it.
I actually have a quick question. Just starting with that, if the only depth gesture that you're detecting is essentially a tap, are you just looking at a reduction in scale of the tracked digit? Combination.
Cool. It is a combination because, again, everything that we're doing is coming from the mobile world that we started and the PC, and and the same engine is used for everything. So left, right, tap, up, down. With the finger is basically finger tracking. Now we have what we call a contextual menu that basically, you bring your finger up and you get a kind of menu that combines 3, 4, 5 icons that you can actually decide what the icons will do. Play, pause, fast forward, backward. Just a decision of the app developer or the OEM or DM which you're working with.
I didn't see the depth camera on the Lewis glasses that you showed. Is it like on EyeSight?
We don't have a depth camera. The entire pitch, so I'm doing a bad job. My God, they should fire me. We don't require a depth camera. Whatever you've seen, it's Google Glass, Lumos, Vuzix, and some other that basically we are using whatever is on the device itself. If you're going to go into the market, you can buy PCs which use the internal camera with our gesture. The intention, again, depth is nice, it's required, but it's not required in most of the application that, an average Joe, and I'm an average Joe, would like to have.
And one last follow-up question. Do you need 2 cameras 2 cameras, one focusing close and one focusing on the scene, so you can recognize the church or whatever, and then track the hand to click on it?
One camera.
One camera.
We don't change anything. You're going to see, by the way, again, the vision for wearable, and wearable I'm talking about, from my perspective right now, glasses see-through, is that the gesture actually, if I'm sitting in a meeting and I will do this, someone will shoot me eventually. At least my family can't stand me anymore. But now I'm sitting here and I'm doing this, which my hand now, there is another sensor looking down, a very cheap sensor. Doesn't have to be something expensive, because all we need is 640 by 480, 30 FPS. That's kind of technology that has been around for 10 years. Do this, and basically I take a picture of you, and I know, why are you asking me so many questions? Because you're working for the competition. Okay, got it.
We're good.
Just the last question, your industrial application that you've mentioned there, any progress there? And then the last one is the people who control the aircon, can they make it a bit, we're going to die in here, it's too cold. But back to your question, industrial application, please.
Say it again?
Your industrial application that you've mentioned there, that you do work in there?
So again, I have to apologize. Most of the stuff that we're doing is done with companies, OEM, ODM out there, some operator that we are not deliberate to talk about them. I showed the video at the beginning intentionally because this is something that is done. People actually can do it today. Industrial application, again, something that people already spoke about maybe, but a warehouse, you basically have, you can actually look at the barcode, you get information about it, you can actually scan it, play with it, I take it out, and more and more.
Thanks, Rony. We're going to move on because of the whole time thing, but thank you for the questions.
I finished earlier. I can do. All right, thank you very much, guys.
And this, yeah.